What is going on, everybody? You already know what this is. It is All American Recap for episodes 7 and 8. And let me tell you, they got me. They got me. And I knew they was going to get me in episode 8. I knew it when I seen the commercial, when I talked about it in the last episode, when I said that Billy Baker was returning, and they got me. They got me. Every season, I cry at least once every season. Last season was the worst. I think I cried the most out of last season, and maybe season 2. But I know season 5, I cried the most. The most, season 5. But episode 7 and episode 8, obviously, for you guys that do not know the titles of those, I'm going to start giving you the titles as well. Episode 7 was Passing Me By, and episode 8 was Kids See Ghost. So I wanted to just go through both episodes more like my, as you know, my opinion, my takes on what happened throughout these episodes. But let's start off with the big thing that happened on episode 7 was Ashley got the fuck out of here. Ashley, go. Be gone. I knew I called it. I kept saying that I feel though as if I knew when he was introduced, when we finally figured out who the hell Ashley was, when he appeared and Layla's talking to Liv, and she's telling her, like, the Spence know, and you know, then Spence kind of got it on the fence and all this. And we seen at the end of episode 6 where Layla, I do this all the time. I should know by now. It's fucking 6 seasons. When Liv and Spence was in the bed and they were going to bed and they were going, like when they were going to bed, and you kind of just got that eerie feeling of, you know, this ain't gonna, something ain't gonna happen, like something bad gonna happen. And obviously we see that, you know, after they had the conversation and he told her that, boundaries. You need to establish these boundaries. You need to get and it was right. It was honest, you know. You can't, and I've been a victim of this. And it's not the best feeling. You know, I understand where Ashley was coming from, where, you know, a friendship grew and it became more on one side. I completely understand that. And Liv should have, from the jump, inserted and said, hey, this is not what you think. I'm with Spencer. I'm in love with Spencer. He's who I want to be with, you know, and kind of just had that establishment from the beginning. And Ashley knew what the hell he was doing. You know, we all know that when Ashley at the New Year's Eve party, sat there and came there and had that painting. He wanted to paint her. And she kind of said, nah, I'm good. And he still went forward and did it. Boy, you asking for smoke. You are asking for all the smoke. And you knew exactly, as Liv said, you knew exactly what you were doing when you decided to show up here with this painting. Like, you didn't think that was not going to sit well with, like, nah, you knew what you were doing. And he did. That was a fuckboy move. And Spence did the right thing. You know, Spence did the right thing, and Spence being like, I'm gonna let Liv handle this. She knows she has this under control. And I respect him for doing that. You know, I really do. We also seen in that episode, in the 7th episode, episode 7, we see that there's Jordan is having his, Jordan's trying to help navigate with Layla, kind of her trauma and stuff that's going on with that. And it goes into Kids See Ghost episode, which I want to kind of dive more into that, but we also have in episode 7, one of the big moments of episode 7 was Asher. And Asher Asher being put in a tough position. He basically told Jamie, or didn't tell Jamie, that he was secretly going to see another specialist who was telling him that he was he can play. And it was pretty messed up because we all know Jamie's condition. And for Jamie to kind of look at Asher and say, you did all this because you wanted to feel this moment, but you have a family that you have to look after now. You have a family that needs you. And yes, you can go through all these different specialists and all this stuff, but one hit, one thing, one slip up can happen and Asher can be gone. So we see that he, at the end of episode 7, he did make that conscious decision and picked his family over the game. It's going to be real interesting to see how that plays out moving forward. We do know that the next episode is the championship, GAU versus Coastal. So it is going to be Asher and Wade going against Spence and Jordan. And Coach Kenny has not been there for some time. So Coach Mack, who is the offensive coordinator, I finally got his name taken care of. Coach Mack has taken reign over as the interim head coach while Coach Kenny is gone. But you're starting to see that there's some hidden agenda behind Coach Mack. Coach Mack was on a podcast, and this is going into episode, 8. Coach Mack turned around and made some statements, basically saying like, yo, listen, Jordan is good, but Jordan, college quarterbacks, kind of threw him under the bus. And we realized that the reason why he did that was because Jordan is his meal ticket. Coach Mack is only there and only doing what he's doing to further he's about himself. He's not about the team. And Jordan kind of drew the line in the sand and broke up with Coach Mack and stuck with Coach Kenny. Because as he said, Coach Kenny puts the team before everyone. It's the team. And I think what they're going to do is I think they're going to have a situation where I think this is going to be tough because if Coach Kenny is not back for the championship, that's going to be something. Now, during the one game, the last game that they played, you could tell that Coach Mack was leaning on Spencer, or not leaning on Spencer, was leaning on Jordan. But because Jordan's mind wasn't focused on the game because he was more focused on Layla, it caused this to happen. And he wasn't listening to Spencer. But Spencer had to take that initiative and say, listen, this is what we're going to do. And talk to Coach Mack in the way he would listen, and that's through analytics. And we all seen the outcome. This is what happened. But it's going to be interesting to see kind of how that plays itself out with that one. But let's dive into the Kids See Ghosts episode, because that's the one. That was the one that was the heart-wrenching one. That was the one that had me emotional because it was the return of Billy Baker. And the way they told the story, the way Jordan and Liv had got their letters that he wrote to them when they were born and said to open it when they graduated, but Laura thought it should be, you should do this now, and gave Spencer his journal. Now, that was, Spence was like, I can't take this. I can't accept this. This should be something that should be given to them, to one of them because, they're family. And she was like, but you're family too. Billy would have wanted you to read his thoughts, read what he was thinking. And it was very pivotal that he got this at this particular time because, oh man, I just blanked on the new, I'm gonna call him the new Spencer. He kind of took it under his wing, and to hear Spence read this particular part of the journal, which was when Billy took in Spencer, very much fitting this situation. And what got me, and what made it warmed my heart, it was just like, this is why I love these two together, is because when Spence was reading, as he was looking at Spence 2.0 or 3.0, sitting on the couch sleep, he said, he brought up how he was reading how Billy was talking about how Mrs. Baker, Laura, came up to him and said, let's go to bed. And when he said that, when he was leading up to it, Liv takes that, it's as though it's being recreated, but now it's Spence and Liv. And you see that same thing happen with Jordan and Layla. Because now Layla's going to therapy and Layla is doing this exercise with the light and it's triggering a memory And now she's going back, but she's not seeing that traumatic moment with her dad and her mom. She's seeing Jordan in her, in the daughter that they may have. And it's like, damn, like this episode had me really messed up. Layla admits that, she became numb, and the wedding is not off. The wedding is not off because Layla said that she wants to marry Jordan, but she needs to kind of exercise these demons and this trauma that she has. And Jordan being Jordan, as she said, you've been with me in my darkest moments. It's not going to be like my mom and my dad. She feared that it would be, but realized that Jordan has been there. Jordan was doing research on stuff. When she brought up the whole light exercise, he brought it up and said, yeah, I know about this because I researched on it. So Jordan is with her 10 toes down. And that's why, like, when I think about the relationships that are in this show, I've always said, and I repeatedly say it almost every recap episode, Spence and Olivia is like the one. But then you have Jordan and Layla and Asher and Jamie, and you got Patience and Coop. But those, like, Jordan and Layla, depending on the episode, maybe number 2. Maybe 1A. I mean, maybe 1B. I don't know. But what choked me up with this episode was the end with Liv finally reading the letter. Now, I say that because I'm going to be very open and transparent with you guys. It reminded me of me and my daughter. Now, me and my daughter's relationship has always been good, but more recently, it's kind of rocky. And I remember the episode where where Liv almost relapsed. And Billy, she like went missing, and Billy was losing it and was freaking out and was angry and all this stuff. And I forgot the woman's name, but she's a part of South Crenshaw. She's a part of that community. And she told Billy to call her. Don't yell. Call her. Let her know she can come home. Because she probably doesn't feel like she can come home. Let her know you still care. And when I heard him leave that voicemail and I heard that music play in the background and Liv started breaking down crying, it made me think of my daughter and made me think of my relationship with her. And listening to Billy talk to her and to tell her how she is going to change the world. Like, she's going to be this beacon of light and hope and love, and this is what she's going to do. It fucked me up because, I just think of that, and I think of my relationship with my daughter, and I see that. And, like I said, she's at that age now, where as a father, you have to let your child enter the real world. She just turned 18. She just had her prom this past week, and she's on the cusp of graduating, and it's like, I have to, release you into this world. And it's just, when I seen that, it just really made me think of that, and it just brought everything back. And then it made me think, like, damn, I wish that I would have did something like this, like write this letter to my child when she was born and give it to her when, she turned 18 or whatever. It really did. It really, and it makes me think, like, if I do have another child, that's something that I probably will do. Or do something like this. I mean, we're in a day and age where technology and all this, but I think writing it will be a little bit more, has more sentimental value to it. But these 2 episodes was very tough. It was tough. I mean, I'm glad to see that Ashley is gone. Hopefully we ain't got to see him anymore. But this last episode was tough. It was a hard one to watch, just from the emotional side of it. Very curious to see the angles, the direction that we're going to move into moving forward. I know the next episode is episode 100. So they're really going to, I think they're going to just focus, it's going to be a little different. I think they're going to focus more on the game than any other story other than the game. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this episode and the following episode. So that's 9 and 10. And see what happens. They haven't said anything about renewing for season 7. I'm really curious to see if they are going to do that. Just because I think they don't know what story to tell after the end of this season. Because I think Spence is going to move forward. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't think Spence is going to get into the league. I don't think so. I think Spence is going to find his calling is through, like, therapy. Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Spence is going to not forego the draft. Or he will and probably take a different route. But I'm really thinking that he's not. I don't think so. Oh, and Dylan. Cannot forget about Dylan. Dylan got accepted to a program, and now, one of the high-end art schools. And, their mother, Gloria, had to, she has to release him. And that's a tough thing for her to do because, she's realizing that her sons made it. Like, her sons are going to get out of the trenches. They've made it. And as a parent, that's all you want to see. I know my mother, she was ecstatic to see that my brother graduated, and she was ecstatic to see I graduated from college. And, we're both thriving in our positions that we're in. And that brings her joy to know that, she raised successful men. So, I can understand, and when I see that, I see my mom. I see myself in Spencer. I see my mother and Gloria. So let's see what happens moving forward with this All-American episode 9 and 10. Let me know what y'all thought of this recap. Let me know what y'all thought, what y'all think is going to happen moving forward with the show. Do you want to see season 7? I know that they just, I believe July is when they're doing All-American Homecoming. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I heard that is pretty good, but I'm with the OG. I'm with the original spinoffs. So let me know what y'all thought of this, what y'all think is going to happen. are you interested in All American Homecoming? If you are, do you think I should watch it? Like, I started watching a little bit of the first season, then I kind of was like, it didn't really move me. So let me know, should I go back and watch Homecoming? Let me know. Let me know what y'all thought in the comments below. I'll be back with recaps for episode 9 and 10. Till then, I'm out. Later.